Hello everybody, welcome or welcome back to my channel. Today I have a really exciting video. So it's Halloween, but in case you didn't know, I'm not a fan of spooky books. I don't do horror books, I don't do like creepy thrillers. I'm also not that keen on dark academia. I've dipped my toes in the water, just didn't get on with me. So I thought, what books could I read for Halloween that aren't spooky but still give you all the Halloween feels? Came up with these two. They're a bit random, but you'll get the gist. The first one is Out on a Limb. This is a romance book, but they meet at a Halloween party. So I thought perfect, atmospheric. So I thought this would be a great option to read this Halloween. And then the second one is Daisy Darker by Alice Feeney. I love Alice Feeney books, and I believe, yeah, this is also set on Halloween and they're at their grandmother's house. I thought these two would be really good to read because they're both set on Halloween / at Halloween events. That is today's reading vlog, reading books that are set on Halloween, which I thought was a really fun concept, especially since I'm not keen on the typical what you would class as Halloween reads. Not sure which one I'm going to read first. Maybe this one. I'm in the mood for a romance. Okay, so I think they have a one night stand at the party, then fall pregnant, and then they get to know each other as friends to become parents, but then I think things progress from there. I'm not sure, but I've heard great things about this book. I feel like it's been viral for over a year now. I am 3 chapters in, so I've read 2 chapters so far and I'm really enjoying it. I can sometimes struggle with characters being really cringe in romances, but I am liking both of these characters so far. The banter is actually quite funny. I love when a book is actually funny and makes me giggle, and the fact that it's done that within the first like 30 pages is very, very good. Enjoying it so far. It's easy to read, easy to get into, it kind of dives straight in. Continue reading. I'll check in with you maybe at 100 pages or whenever I have something else to say. I'm on page 100 and I've just finished the chapter where she tells Beau that she's pregnant. I'm trying to keep these spoiler free, but I don't think that's a spoiler considering she has to tell him. But these characters just feel so raw and real, and I actually really like both of them. I think the way they've handled the situation, their banter is still on point. I'm just really enjoying it. Like I said, it's still so easy to read. The characters are likeable. The pair of them actually, usually sometimes I can only like the girl or the guy, but these two are great. My heart feels tender reading their histories, reading about their past. So I do feel like this is going to be a little bit of an emotional read perhaps later on in the book. I appreciate a romance that has some depth. I love stories that stick with you and kind of have a very important message within them. I'm really enjoying it so far. Hello. It's a little bit later now. I'm going to continue reading Out on a Limb. I'm on page 142, chapter 13. The new Red Bull flavour. It's iced vanilla berry and it tastes so good. So hopefully that will wake me up a little bit to continue. I want to finish quite a lot of this. Also, I don't know whether you can see, but it has like a big fold, like a crease there. My dog sat on it. I'm gonna continue and I'll let you know when I have any thoughts. Okay, so I've only read chapter 13 since I checked in with you. The way Wynn's anxiety was managed by Sarah was chef's kiss. As a person who has anxiety, I feel like this was just managed so well. It wasn't disregarded, it wasn't blown out of proportion. She actually, I could probably say without it being a spoiler, basically she was worried about something and Sarah goes, do you want to play worst case scenario, which is a game that her mum used to play with her, and it's where you explain the worst case scenario, and then Sarah just said, and how likely is that to happen, and then Wynn talks through how likely that is, and then she's like, actually, let me not worry about that, we'll just have to wait and see whether that happens, which is unlikely. And I think that is the most perfect anxiety management for the moment, and I'm so glad the author is aware that she has this anxiety, they've focused on it, they've realised it's unrealistic, but she's still validated in her anxiety. It's not just put to a side, it's not just, oh, it's nothing, or it's not blown out of proportion into where the friend is like, yeah, you can't do that, which is what sometimes happens in other books. That, to me, as somebody who is quite anxious, that just really warmed my heart to see that in a book. Changed into a comfier top. It's a little bit creased, so ignore that. 1:22. Had a phone call, I got distracted, so I'm literally still on chapter 14, which is ridiculous. So, decided to make this into a fun little challenge, and I'm going to try stay up all night reading this and this for Halloween. That's the plan. I'm thinking I've got snacks, coffee, my new energy drinks. I'm cozy, I'm now comfy, it's the vibe. So I'm going to change the trajectory of this video. Ignore my bun, might be a little frizzy because I will be lounging, but that is the plan. So come and join me for this long night ahead. Past 2 and I'm on page 295, chapter 27, so I've read like 150 pages, which is good, and I'm just loving it so far. They've gotten to the point where they've had to share a bed because his dad is visiting, and I love that so much. So yeah, I'm just loving seeing them progress as individuals and together. The banter is still on point. Their relationship feels so raw and it has so much depth. None of the book has made me cringe, which I'm very prone to cringing with romance books, and some things I just have to overlook and pretend I never read them, but not had that problem with this book yet. So I think I'm on 300, maybe another 100 pages to go. So I'm really excited to see how this wraps up. I'll let you know maybe when I've finished or if I've got anything else to say. It is now 2:39 and I've finished Out on a Limb. I think I'm going to give it 4 stars. I loved the 2 main characters. I think they were both really sweet and really cute, and I loved seeing them progress not only within the relationship and each other but within themselves. I think both of them learnt so much within this pregnancy journey, which I think is what the author was kind of trying to portray. I really enjoyed the anxiety management part. That bit was great. I think it just lost a star because having both the male interest and her best friend to be these rich people just kind of made it a little bit unrealistic. Like, obviously some people can be really lucky and get in those situations, but like the gifts they were kind of giving each other just made it feel a little bit flamboyant, I guess. So probably because of that, and also I'm not too keen on books that end in proposals. I know quite a few of them do. I don't mind if it's in the epilogue, but when it's kind of just like a round off last page thing, I'm not that keen on that kind of thing. So yeah, but 4 stars. I did get a little bit emotional at one part, which is how you know that it has just hit me very deep. But yeah, I definitely really enjoyed this book. I know that it kind of only had the Halloween party when they first met in the beginning, but I'm still counting it for this video. Still counts. It was still on Halloween. So yeah, 4 stars for this. I really enjoyed it, and I think it was just so easy to get through. I honestly flew through the second half, and I actually am really excited to read her other books. I think they'll be really good as well. Her writing style was so good. The banter was so good. I want to have a coffee, I think, and then I'm going to maybe put on a jumper because I'm a little bit chilly. Then I'm going to start Daisy Darker. I'm hoping, because this is a thriller, I can read it quite quick because I kind of don't really put them down. I also love Alice Feeney. The blurb says, Daisy Darker's family were as dark can be. When one of them died, all of them lied and pretended not to see. So it says Daisy Darker is going to her grandma's house for her 80th birthday. It's Halloween and it's a house on a private island. And then it says the Dark family haven't all been in the same place for over a decade. When the tide comes in, they'll be cut off from the rest of the world for 8 hours. When the tide goes back out, nothing will ever be the same again because one of them is a killer. This might spook me a little bit. I'm hoping not. I'm hoping when I finish it's light outside. I doubt it will be though because it's getting darker here. But yeah, all of this I think takes place on Halloween night, so I think this will be a really fun read, and Alice Feeney plot twists always get me. So. I am 79 pages into Daisy Darker. I'm really enjoying it. So they've all shown up to that house in Cornwall, but I think it's on a little island, so the tide coming in and out affects whether you can get to the house or not. So there's the grandma, the grandma whose house it is, the dad, the mum, but they're divorced, her 2 older sisters, one of the sisters' daughters, and then Daisy Darker. And the death has happened, and I think this whole thing is just going to be like a whodunit. It is kind of spooky. There's a storm going on outside. The characters are bad vibes, like not just me disliking them, they've clearly been made to be very dislikable, and I have a suspicion about one of them already, but I don't know whether that's true because, like I say, Alice Feeney gets me every time. I am feeling a bit tired, to be honest. Like, I had a coffee, but I had decaf, I thought, because I've already had a Red Bull, but I am feeling a little bit sleepy. I will let you know some thoughts on this book when I have any. Okay, this book is getting a little creepy and sinister now. I mean, I am on chapter 13, but this is spookier than I thought. Maybe it's the time I'm reading it. I think it just had like 4 AM. What is going on? I'm now on chapter 18, page 130. I feel like my reading pace has slowed down completely. A major plot twist happened, which was a shock. I wasn't expecting that. But I have my suspicions. It's the same one as before. But like, tell me why it's still working. Like, I haven't been proved wrong yet. I get annoyed when I guess thrillers right. Like, I'm like, oh, I wish the author had got me, but I've still got hope because Alice Feeney has got me in all of her other books. But I have a sneaky suspicion about one of the characters, and I think I'm right. I do think I'm right. Also really enjoying the pacing. I think my brain has slowed down, but it's not like bombarding with information or going too slow where it's tiring me out. So continue. We'll update if I've got anything to say. Okay, so 30 pages later and I was wrong. The person who I thought it was, it can't be, because of a situation that has happened. Now I've just got no idea who it could be, because I know that they're hinting at somebody else, but I don't think that that is true. Just gonna keep reading. I'm like really getting into it now, so I feel like the pages are just whizzing by. I've got a new theory, not sure if it's true, from the flashback we just had. Could be. So I'm on chapter 26 on page 190, so I think I've got like 150 left maybe. Spooky. This book is spookier than I thought it was going to be, and it has stayed spooky. But this, oh, I need to know what happens. Like, I'm so tired right now, but I cannot put this down. I refuse to leave this until tomorrow to read. So we're going to continue. Right now, this is how much I've got left this side. I've got a new theory. This is a huge spoiler. I think she's dead and she's haunting them because nobody's really spoke to her. But then, okay, scrap that. Both my theories were true. Both of them. I don't know how, because I doubted. What? I was right. No. It's 6 o'clock. I've just finished Daisy Darker. I'm in shock, I think. Also, I'm so tired. I think I might need to just gather my thoughts on this book, because that was intense the whole way through. I can't believe I got it right. Like, I'm so proud of myself. The way I thought I was being ridiculous at one point. I'm gonna come back with my thoughts later on today. I really need to go to bed. I need to watch something happy and joyous to not have dreams about this. This was so good though. I already know it's a 4 stars. I just want to gather everything that I'm thinking when I'm not as tired. Can't believe I finished both of these in one night, but I'm gonna head to bed for a bit. I will speak to you a bit later about that book. I'm like speechless and like mind blown by that book. Alice Feeney will do it every single time. I'm quite so glad that I guessed it, but I was still shocked because I'd convinced myself it wasn't that, which is odd. But yeah, I'm gonna head to sleep now. I don't even know what time I'll be up, but it doesn't matter because I've successfully read these 2 books. Hello, it is the next day now. I'm about to head out to an event. I just thought I would give my final thoughts on Daisy Darker. So the reading process was so good for this book. It was so atmospheric and eerie and spooky, and it played out so well in my head. Like, I can see this being a film. It was so good. I am a little bit annoyed that I guessed who did it, and I think, not annoyed, but just like, oh, I wish I'd been got. Usually Alice Feeney does get me, but maybe I've read too many to the point where I now know what her plot twist will be. Who knows? But it was honestly gripping. Like, I couldn't put it down. I needed to know what was going on. It was just so good, and I'd really recommend this book. I gave it 4 stars, I think. And yeah, so I had a really fun time. I did just want to add in about Out on a Limb. Oh, I've kind of been thinking about it, having been left with my thoughts. I realised what I thought it was missing, and I think it was the fact that the whole book was the journey of pregnancy, and that was it. Like, the book ended before the baby came, and then the epilogue is 10 years later. And I just wish we saw those moments with Wyn and Bo with the baby, like when the baby's first born. Like, I wish we'd seen that and those cute little intimate moments, because kind of the whole time you're like, part of the story, I guess, is will they be good parents, do they work together, like they're excited for this baby, yet we miss out on seeing the baby as a baby. So that's what I thought was missing for me. I feel like there could have been more of that at the end, but yeah, I just thought I'd add that in there. But yes, I really enjoyed this little reading challenge I made for myself. I got 2 4-star books, which is very good, and I'm very happy with that. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you know of any other books that are set on Halloween, because I might need to look into them. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will speak to you very soon.